At heavyweight now, Cole Mirasola, just a freshman, getting to the top 15 of the country. He's got a veteran on the other side. Juan Mora, the 24th ranked wrestler in the country, has seen a lot of matches, and a young gun on the other side. There. Juan Mora is coming off a real nice victory in the Tiger Style Invitational last weekend, but Cole Mirasola is trying to follow up his brother's major decision. Went 6-2 last year, made his dual meet debut against Ohio State, came away with a huge win over 8th ranked Nick Feldman, and really burst on the scene, hoping to have a real strong performance here at heavyweight.
Yeah, Juan Mora's had some nice wins. He was ranked as high as 19th last year. Another transfer from North Dakota State, came with Roger Kish. And a good hand fighter. He just needs to pull the trigger like Cole Mirasola did, just like his twin brother, in on that leg. A little more weight on top of your shoulders when you're up at heavyweight, and that's the deal. I mean, Cole Mirasola's had to put on about 35 pounds or so from a couple of years ago, and it's not easy to put on weight. I mean, and you know, you're eating all the time versus every other weight class you're not eating, you know. And so he's going to be one of the lighter heavyweights. We got about 260 on the side of Juan Mora. Actually, he weighed in at 256. And Cole Mirasola weighed in at 228. So he's given away 30 pounds. Yeah. That's a lot when you get underneath somebody. Nice job of pulling the trigger. Mora in on the single leg, but a whizzer now, a shin whizzer by Mirasola, neutralizing Mora. And now the flips around in on his own single leg. And he's going to drive through and get the 3 points.
Got the takedown to take the first lead.
You know, a shout out here. The Mirasolas from Wisconsin, just like Mitchell Messenbrink, and they're all products of the Askren Wrestling Academy. And just a great shout out to Ben Askren. One, he was just inducted into the National Wrestling Hall of Fame, and overcoming a double lung transfer, and he's been such an inspiration to us all the way. With a wrestling mindset, has worked back from a really bad way from a health standpoint, and he's working his way back, but he's a mentor to so many wrestlers. And on this lineup tonight, 3 of them, the Mirasola twins and Mitchell Messenbrink. And so just a shout out to Ben Askren, one of the best in our sport. Congratulations to the National Wrestling Hall of Fame, the inductions in early June in Stillwater.
They have turned out some good wrestlers there from Askren Wrestling Facility. We're here in the first. It was Mora who was in on the leg, but Mirasola countered and turned it into a takedown of his own.
It was a really nice job by Cole Mirasola there. Again, the weight, he was able to find the angle because he's not the biggest heavyweight, but he's really good at finding the angles, and he found the angle, got in on a single, and then was able to cover the hips and drive through.
This is one of the only weight classes where you're giving up this big, this huge amount of weight. Like you said, 30 pounds or something. As a coach, what would you tell guys when they're giving up weight like that?
Well, you don't get caught underneath. I mean, and heavyweight's a different sport. And so, you know, you work those, you hand fight, you work those underhooks, but you've got to find the angles, because when you're outweighed by 30, you don't want to go straight in and get, underneath to where you can't recover, because 30 extra pounds is 30 extra pounds. And so Cole Mirasola comes from understanding how to wrestle from a lighter weight. And, but
hey, Tim, look at this. We're not just giving you Penn State's lineup. We're giving you guys from the lineup that are on the USA World Team. I mean, this list is impressive. Almost the entire lineup at one point has been on a USA World Team.
And that's the way to say it. All these guys have represented USA Wrestling on one world team or another, whether it was under 17, U20 or U23, or the senior. But just so impressive. And tonight, 8 of the 10. Duke not, I don't believe in the lineup tonight, but 8 out of the 10 have been on USA Wrestling World Team.
So impressive. We mentioned the U23s happening just a couple of weeks ago, where Penn State was well represented.
There you go, use those knees.
Everyone I've talked to talks about the Mirasola twins, not only how good they are at wrestling, but their character, their work ethic, and they're just workhorses. Well, you better be in the Penn State room. And, you know, after last year, he got to work out with Greg Kirkfleet, the national champion, several-time All-American for Penn State, and he gets to take over the heavyweight spot for Kirkfleet. But the room is filled with guys from the coach on down. I mean, Cale's out there wrestling with these guys, and what an opportunity to have that kind of room at the upper weights.
Yeah, we've got some All-Americans who are going to be redshirting coming up. We're talking about, obviously, everyone's trying to figure out who falls where, but when you're able to take some guys who were really high up on the podium and sit them down, that just shows the depth. Here's Mirasola, again on the leg. Good counter coming out of Juan Mora, though.
Yeah, nice job by Mora of squaring up and getting his getting on top of the shoulders of Mirasola there and getting his weight to where it kept Mirasola from getting to the corner. And that's what Mirasola is trying to do. He's trying to work in there, hand fight, snap the heads, always looking to get a good look at an angle, at a corner. You're not going to score at this level going straight on.
Short time here in the first. We'll see what either wrestler makes of it. So far, over a minute of riding time for Mirasola from a takedown he had early on in the first. And Mirasola with a choice to go down here.
Red cover, here we go.
This is one of those hard spots we talk about where he's giving up the weight. Mora's going to try to continue to ride as he gets a caution here, a little too early of a jump.
Yeah, and I don't mind that jump by Mora. I mean, you want to catch every advantage you can.
Big lift.
And Mirasola stands up. He's looking to control the hands, get hip separation, and he does. Real easy getaway there, 1 point escape.
So now Juan Mora is looking for Oklahoma's first takedown. All 5 of their points in the last match, this match, have come from escapes, trying to be the aggressor here.
Heavy. To the mat. Good. Forward.
What we've seen out of the Mirasola twins is what you're always going to see out of teams like Penn State, the elites. It's always the basics win the day. They've done a really nice job of holding position. They've done a nice job of lowering their level, finding an angle, getting in on the single leg, and then turning that into a takedown, dropping down to the double leg. But, it negates a lot of chaos. If the pressure's in the right place and the right time, the defense has less options. And the Mirasola twins so far have given Oklahoma no options because of their good basic fundamentals.
If you're Juan Mora here, 45 seconds now on the clock in the third. A takedown could put you in front. Got to figure out, got to find when the right time is to pull the trigger.
Easy. Keep it clean, gentlemen.
And this is where, you're right in it from a standpoint of Mora. He just needs to be working those snaps and trying to get Mirasola out of position, but that's the hard part because Cole has kept a great position. He's keeping in the center of the match, and Mora has not been able to break through the defense of Mirasola, who's going to get the win.
An early shot for Juan Mora, but it's Cole Mirasola who turns it into 3 and gets the decision. Into the lineup in the starting spot at heavyweight and starting it off with a decision tonight in the first duel of the season. All right, 125, where we typically started, but instead these guys had to wait a little bit. Luke Lilledahl, third-ranked wrestler in a sophomore campaign, came on really strong last year. Conrad Hendriksen in a sophomore year had a strong season as a redshirt last year, undefeated 5-0. Big opportunity for him at the Bryce Jordan Center, but Luke Lilledahl just came on. When it came to February and March, he continued to just thrive with the Big Ten championship.
Yeah, Lilledahl finished third last year, and just what a great true freshman season. Lightning Luke Was named that by a youth wrestling coach, and that's because he can dart in and out with the best of them. But one of the things, we talk about world peas, and Luke Lilledahl is the first USA wrestling wrestler to win world titles at U17, U20, and U23.
Wow, impressive.
The #1 seed last year at the in 25, placed third. He got upset in the quarters by Lehigh's Sheldon Seymour, and then came back, pinned Matt Ramos, the guy, the Purdue wrestler that was second the year before, pinned him for third place, and was the #1 recruit in the class of 24. So just a treat to watch. I think he's one of the best 125-pounders in the last decade.
I know you always like, too, these, guys like Luke who have a falter a little bit in the national tournament and have to fight their way back, claw and scrap to get all the way back, doesn't give up and gets third, gets on the podium, but it's not an easy course to get there.
You've been around me, and you understand that when I think of third placers, I tell you what, it's very satisfying because it's usually after a heartbreaking loss, and you come back, and like you said, you scratch, you claw, and you get back in there, and that's why I think, and there's a takedown by Luke Lilledahl right away inside the first minute. 3-0 for Lilledahl, but I say it a lot, America needs wrestling. The guts, the gumption, the grit that it takes to grind out a good 7-minute match. It's the same stuff, the same characteristics that it takes to grind out a good, productive, long life. And I'll tell you what, we need more people in America that are willing to go to the mat for their convictions.
There you go.
We don't want to leave it on the mat. Let's take the mat with us through life.
And back to the mat goes Conrad Hendriksen.
Nice job.
That loss of control.
Yeah, nice job by Hendriksen.
One red lost the control.
He fought hard there. Got the 1-point escape.
He was able to get out, got that escape there. Talking with Coach Kish, he said a guy like Conrad Hendriksen, short, powerful. He's been very difficult to score on. Now, Lilledahl doesn't have no problem with the first, getting the job done, but, he's a guy that we've got to continue to work on his offense, get his offense going along, know when to pull that trigger, and here Lilledahl gets it again.
Yeah, dropped in on the ankle there, and then you saw his feet moving really hard, and drove in to Hendriksen and got the 3 points. Working this, working the snap, drops down to the ankle, drives through. Really, really good pursuit by Lilledahl.
Got a minute. There you go. Hips.
Already one major decision coming for Penn State here tonight at 197. Lilledahl is up by 5 here in the first. Of course, always the reigning Big Ten champ looking at searching for bonus points.
Good look at Luke Lilledahl there. He's world class on his feet, obviously, with his world championships and these age groups, but he is just continuing to improve top and bottom. And right now, Penn State does a really nice job of smothering on top. And I like the way Hendriksen continues to hustle, and he was able to get out there, but Lilledahl wanted to go back to his feet. And nice job there of trying to find the corner by Hendriksen. And good fight.
The mat.
Yeah, good fight by Conrad Hendriksen.
Squared it back up.
Now pull. Now pull. Pull again. Elbows and
Coach
ankles.
Kish saying try to get him down flat on the edge of the mat. He's got just 7 seconds to work with, trying to get his first takedown.
Lilledahl, obviously, every one of these wrestlers for Penn State, you have to say, are in the elite category. And elites all have a system, patterns allowing for success. And talking about success, there's Penn State having won the Big Ten championships last year on their way to also win the NCAAs. But you'll notice not only is Nebraska in the #2 spot here in the Big Ten championships, but we know what a great year Mark Manning and Nebraska had last year, finishing second in the NCAAs as well.
Yeah, dominating performance by Penn State, that 181.5. Some of those points coming from this guy right here. Lilledahl had a great tournament, got himself to the championship, got a Big Ten championship under his belt as just a freshman. Scrapped it real good here at 125 and is looking for even more after finishing third in the NCAA tournament. Quickly up and out. Lilledahl makes it 7-2 lead.
Luke does a great job. The key to him is his feet are always moving. He goes from the tie to angles. His hands are moving, and he's just so active. He's got fakes, trying to catch his opponent to bite on a fake, and Hendriksen has not bit. He's really hard to move. He's really hard to score on. Luke is having to work for everything out there, trying to find those corners, and he stays on them.
Here's some of the oohs and ahs here for the Bryce Jordan Center. Lightning Luke. They want another one of those super quick takedowns. Conrad Hendriksen out of Carrollton, Texas. Just a redshirt sophomore in this lineup. 5-0 last year. Won a bunch of matches last weekend at the Tiger Style Invite. Dropped the first one, but won 4 straight.
Action, gentlemen, let's go.
Elbows are high.
These two tied up with just 30 seconds. A little less remaining in this second period.
Sooner doing a nice job. Is back to the center, getting those underhooks. Lilledahl trying to work that head, hand fight, and look for the corners. Hendriksen really stopping the initial moves.
Your choice in the third. Going down?
We showed it to you at the beginning, but yet another look at that good-looking championship banner that will hang inside the Bryce Jordan Center. 2025 national champs. Boy, they got to make room. They got all those banners hanging up there. 13 wrestling national championships for Penn State.
And from their first in the early 50s until their second, it was, 60-some years, 70 years or whatever. And then the run that the Nittany Lions have been on, 2 times they've won 4 in a row. They're going to try to win 5 in a row this year for the first time in history. They've won 71 straight dual meets. They're only a few wins away from the record for the Division I, which is 76. Set by Oklahoma State back in 1937 to 1951. The all-time NCAA is 77 by St. Cloud in Division II, and if Penn State is on track, they'll have those records before Christmas. But the one record that they'll take a few more years is the all-time college record by NAIA powerhouse Grandview. 117 straight dual meets was their streak.
That is impressive. Just a model of consistency this program has been.
And a shout out to Nick Mitchell, the head coach at Grandview, for all starting the program from scratch. He was, he wrestled at Wartburg for Jim Miller, and then he went down to Grandview, started that program, and just retired as the head coach, went into private business, and what a career he had with so many championships at Grandview.
Head down.
Nice job by Lilledahl, driving through the hips. Kept the pressure on, found the good look on the corner, drove through the hips, and got the 3 points.
Let's see if it gets him up and out. Right now, Lilledahl has a major decision with that 1 minute and 42 seconds of riding time.
See the snap there and drop right back in. Started with a double, went to the angle, hit the side of the hips, covered him for 3 points. And I was talking about, you know, all the elites have a system, and Penn State, their system is constantly working to create as much action as possible. They put themselves in wrestling positions because they figure, you know, hey, no matter where I'm at, I'm the better wrestler. And the way to, you know, show that off is to get in wrestling positions. And their offense is good enough. If they slip, quote unquote slip, they feel like they've got the offense to make up for a mistake. And they can put more points on the board. Look at this relentless on the head, drop down to the ankle.
No, he's on the floor. Warning. Warning on red.
And that foot went off the mat onto the floor. They stop it, and there's a warning.
So effectively 11-4. Lilledahl with a takedown would give him a major decision, and he does.
Little super duck right at the end. He didn't hesitate, just dropped under that arm with a duck under, and 3 more points in the major.
Just a sophomore, but he is so savvy, lightning quick. Luke Lilledahl knows where the clock's at, gets down and gets the takedown for some bonus points. And we welcome you back. We have good news to report. Levi Haines was checked out. He got the all clear and he got good to go. So he will be back out here after that head injury set him down. Man, what a competitor.
Yeah, I mean, that's he's shown that. I was just talking about him. He's on the world team, still in the NCAA competitor. Got a silver this year, was a world champion in U23, and he got married. So, I mean,
that's a pretty good summer.
Yeah, that's a pretty good summer. He's a leader of men. He's one of the, you know, the guys they look to. Senior and 3-time Big Ten champion, a 3-time All-American. He's been second, he's been first, he's been third, a national champion in 24.
Coach Cale Sanderson called him out and said, hey, this is one of the guys who leads from us, leads from the front. Guys listen when Levi Haines talks.
Comes from great stock. Both his mom and dad, Amy and Ken, were multi-sport collegiate athletes. And, you know, at Lock Haven, Amy field hockey and lacrosse.
There you go. Yes. Cover. Be patient, it'll come. He's slowing down.
What I love about Levi is I'm not sure there's a better hand fighter. I mean, his hand fighting system, hands are moving all the time. I think that you could count very few seconds in between his hands that are, you know, they're moving all the time. I don't think there'd be 2 seconds where his hands aren't moving. He's as good as it gets in that area. Not just on the head. He's moving. You see him snapping there. He's moving his hands all the time. It's just, and I talked about everybody having a system, and what I like about the elite programs like Penn State. The blueprint is according to the individual, you know, but you got to have a system. And he's as good as we have in the USA Wrestling right now in this area. And he never lets you hang on a collar, tie, or wrist, and he's always, you know, just creating chaos in there with that hand fighting and that pressure.
You ready to counter?
Always looking for the opening. You giving him give him an opening, and he's going to score.
So both these two wrestlers looking to be the first to strike here. Carter Schmidt doing a nice job on the defensive end, but Haines is deep on the single leg.
Found that opening. He's trying to get that right arm to cut across. He's looking to cut across, and he does. Gets the 2, looking for back points.
There's a swipe.
There he's going. He's looking hard. Whoa, nice job of slipping out of that by Schmidt. A 7-point move at the end of the first period for Haines.
Levi Haines goes down with injury, but comes back here in this first in a big way.
See how he cuts across with his right arm here to secure the hips, and then he keeps looking for that back point right there. Covers up, gets that leg high, looks chest to chest, tries to shoot that half in. Nice job by Schmidt getting out of that, but he keeps it tight. See how he's elevating that leg to the chest.
7-0 lead here for Levi Haines in the second. Got that leg in.
Haines really good on top, looking for chicken wings.
Let's go. We got to wrestle here, gentlemen. Let's go.
Got that right leg in.
On a leg, on a count.
It's
One.
above the knee. He's elevating it, looking for some kind of opportunity to turn. And that comes from that elevation of that leg back. There's so much pressure going forward.
Haines gets him flat. Now he's trying to turn him yet again.
So overwhelming and hard. That's why I know the guy that beat him for the gold medal in the seniors had to wrestle hard. You know why I know that? Because Haines wrestles so hard. So that guy, had to wrestle hard to beat Haines for that gold medal. Got the Turk action here. I mean, this is pain. Bringing the head to the foot.
Oh.
Looking for 4 more now, trying to cover it up, looking for the fall, and he gets it.
Levi Haines sends the Bryce Jordan Center to their feet.
Coming out of that Turk, he'd elevated now. Watch him adjust and get his chest on top of the chest right here. Get the points, okay, and the boom, chest on top of chest, nowhere to go, fall.
How about a tough dude right there? Levi Haines went down, concussion protocol. They took a look, came back in a big way with a fall. They're at 174.